It's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
First down. Here's Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. You look at this Steeler defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
Second down and 3. Play action. It's Burrow. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Now a battle for the football, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And I like his honesty, because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about it is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Steelers who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Pittsburgh. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. You talk about this Bengals defense.
They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game, because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
He's airing it out for Williams. That's caught at the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 47 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On the give, this is Harris. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. That's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there was another first down run right there.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Steelers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 55 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
Now Burrow loses the football.
dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you've got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 39 on third.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into third and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. Now Burrow on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Graham. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Griffin's throw hauled in by Washington. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The Steelers at 7-2 here on the year. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
They'll throw on first down with Griffin. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On second down, Griffin. He'll find Williams on the slant. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Again on second and 10, it's Griffin. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. Griffin.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
23 yards for the touchdown.
Now the Steelers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. For the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play. Not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On second down, here's Burrow. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And Graham's got it. Complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Under a minute to go. Clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. They will throw on first down with Burrow. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
3rd and 2, now Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Now Burrow to throw on second down.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Griffin's throw into the hands of Pickens.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Harris, touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals.
And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd down and 4. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Now Burrow. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris.
It's a 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Nick Herbig there on the stop.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And the tight end goes in motion left.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
From the 46, here's a 2nd and 5.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hand off now to Gibbs.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
The defense has been on the field a long time now, and after a run like that, they've got to feel like they're almost on roller skates and getting pushed backwards on just about every snap.
2nd and a couple.
Now they'll throw it with Griffin.
Right side to Williams.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard.
Here's Griffin. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Gibbs fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Griffin. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Steelers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin with an interconference matchup. Baltimore returning to the city where they won a Super Bowl as they take on Atlanta. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. Malachi Corley, a touchdown reception. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Bucs looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that one all tied.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. The second half starts with a run by Gibbs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Now they'll audible to something else. Now it's Griffin. Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. They hand this off to Harris. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Out of the gun, Griffin. Throwing right, and that's complete. Down the sideline he goes. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there. 57 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Here's Burrow. It's caught outright by Graham. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Big 13. Big 13.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
But it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It certainly looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
An assortment of sacks in this game. This one the product of a good jump and terrific effort. Moves quickly off the snap of the ball. Doesn't let up until he's in the backfield and impacting the quarterback.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
They'll look to throw here. This is the tight end, Njoku. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 4th down, so Zach Taylor sends out the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down the middle. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board. And
Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
A gain of 3, second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Here's Griffin to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
That one goes for 8 yards.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now it's Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Burrow will throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They start the drive with Ware. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. And again, this is Ware. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
On 1st down, Chamberlain.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Up the middle they go. Chamberlain. And he is going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bengals 28. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and throw for it with Griffin. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. He'll drop to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. From midfield now, Burrow. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can.
And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And Burrow going to throw again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Burrow. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. On 3rd down, Burrow. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And that penalty will move the ball to the 1-yard line.
It's so difficult to cover a fade route, and you're talking about into the end zone, and sometimes you panic a little as a defender, and the offensive guys are really smart. Sometimes they jump back into you and create the contact.
Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
On 2nd down, Burrow. And he's got it. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. A 10-play drive that time. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Chamberlain, and he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Running on first down with Ware. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Chamberlain. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here is 3rd down and 4. They'll try and run with Ware. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll keep it on the ground. Chamberlain. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
1st down. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. From just shy of midfield, Burrow. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Again, it's Burrow. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
A final shot now for Burrow. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Steelers, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.